Coaching is celebrating the potential of humankind. It's creating a better and more fulfilled versions of ourselves, and it's believing in the ability of people to change by using empowering and caring tools. Welcome to Moving Forward, the podcast of the ICCI, the International Coaching and Counseling Institute, where coaching meets real life. I am Noah Broom, the founder of the ICCI, and I will be your host on this podcast. Today we will figure out what is coaching. Now I have a little confession to make. When I was listening to myself after I recorded the first episode, I realized that I talk quite slowly in English. I know why this is happening. First of all, English is not my first language, and I'm actually very proud that I'm recording this podcast in English. But that means that I'm thinking and talking, and that is slower because I'm not native in English. I'm also used to teaching and lecturing, and when you do those activities, your pace is usually much slower. And last thing that I want to say about it is that please feel free to put me on speed, like, when you use Spotify or any other podcast app, you can put the podcast on 1.2 speed, 1.5, even double the speed, as long as you're comfortable with listening to me in the speed that you like. Now that I say that, we can start. When I thought about recording this episode, I thought, wow, let's do the right thing and let's go to the right definitions of what is coaching. So I opened the websites of the different associations of the profession of coaching, the different federations, and I thought, let's read out what they're saying. And when I read it, first of all, it was feeling weird to just read a definition for you, when actually I know that you can just Google what is coaching and you will get those definitions. But also, something didn't feel quite right. And while I agree with everything that is written there, it didn't feel quite right to start with that. So I actually contacted one of my supervisors and I said to her, how do you define coaching? And you know what she did? She returned the question to me and she said, Noah, just say how you define coaching. What is coaching for you? I really laughed because, first of all, it's a real coaching method to turn the question to the person asking. But also, it really made me realize that I see coaching as such an amazing thing. And this is what I want you to hear. Not a read definition of something that a few people sat and figured out how to write it down, etc. I want you to really feel the vibe of what coaching is. So coaching for me, and therefore for the ICCI, is first of all a relationship. Usually we're talking about a relationship between two people, a coach and a client, or some people call it coachee. That's fine. Or the helper and the person who is coming for help. But for me, it's easier, and this is how I talk to my students about it. We are coaches and we have clients or coachees. These are the two ways that we are using. And it is a relationship between a coach and a client. Sometimes it is between a coach and a group of clients when it's group coaching, but usually we are talking about one-on-one coaching. So it is a relationship that has got to have a few very important things in it. The first thing is trust. There needs to be trust between the client and the coach, and the coach is there in order to help the client, and they are coming from a place of believing in the client, believing in their abilities, believing in the possibilities for the client to achieve great things, and a true belief in their ability to change, whatever they wish to change. We are talking about a process of collaboration between the coach and the client. While one is sharing their challenges or their problems, the other one is listening, reflecting, and helping them to get to a better solution for themselves. The whole process is the thought-provoking process. We are thinking together. Once I heard a good friend of mine she's a colleague as well, and she said it is like having another thinking head. Sometimes we are stuck. Sometimes we are not sure how to go about in the world. And what we have is another person thinking together with us. And this is a wonderful, wonderful thing, because exactly when we feel stuck, exactly when we are not sure about things, somebody that we share it with them and they are thinking together with us, helping us to figure things out, this can be such an amazing gift. Now, what do we need coaching for? What actually we do with that? So, coaching is about maximizing the potential of a person. It is about maximizing our personal potential or our professional potential. It really doesn't matter and sometimes they are combined, of course. But the idea is that we enhance and we develop the client's potential in order to help them to do more and achieve more in their lives. We help them into main thing, either to reach goals. And for those of you who don't like always thinking about goals, I'm one of them, by the way. Sometimes I look at goals and I like them, but sometimes I'm thinking, wait, there's more than just goals, and I like to call them potential desired outcomes. So things that we would like to achieve, but we are not achieving, and not necessarily always working with goals, but desired outcomes is a softer way of looking at the bigger picture, in my point of view. And even I would suggest that sometimes we are looking at vision, what people visualize, what they would like to see, how they would like to see themselves in the future, how they would like to see something that is happening to them in the future, like their next work, or the next move to a different house or a different country, or how they would like their relationship to be. All these kind of things, we can sometimes look at them as visions. Coaching is about looking at those visions, looking at the desired outcome, and setting goals when needed in order to enhance and develop ourselves as people. On the other hand, you can look at it at something like coaching is a process that helps you to get out of feeling stuck. A lot of times we know what we need to do. We know what are the things that will get us through that. We know how to get to a certain goal or outcome, but we are stuck in it. And we just need that person who will be there for us, will believe in us, and will give us that little push in the way that suits us. So it's not about telling us what to do. I'll get to that in a moment, but it's understanding what is the best way for us to get out of that stuckness. So if I can summarize, it is about setting a path to a better or greater personal or professional achievement or fulfillment. And we do it together. You don't need to do everything alone. You know, I really love this expression that it takes a village to raise a child. And if we look at it this way, we understand that actually, what is the village? The village is different people with different knowledge and different experiences that are helping one person, in this metaphor, the child, to develop, to grow, to get raised. And what happened in the recent years, the recent decades, we are living in less and less in communities, and we kind of lost a bit the help that others can offer us. And in coaching, we do exactly that. We're just having another person thinking together with us and helping us look at the bigger picture or look at the details of the picture that sometimes we are afraid of looking at them by ourselves, or sometimes we are not even turning the head to see where are the other options we have. And that is what a coach will do with you. in the most caring way, with empathy, in a way that you feel comfortable. Like I said, building a lot of trust. This is a process in itself that during the coaching process, it can take maybe a few minutes, but it can also take a few sessions until you trust the coach. And sometimes you will trust the coach with some things, and after a few sessions, when you will be together for a while, you will see that you can trust them even more, and you will share more and more. Now let's move into deeper explanation of what coaching is. And like in many things, it will be easier for me to explain to you what it is not, what are some misconceptions about coaching, and from that you will understand better what coaching is. And I will start with a story. Not that long ago, a matter of a few months ago, a good friend spoke to me on the phone and he said, I am stuck with something in my life, but I don't feel like I want to go coaching because I don't want somebody to tell me what to do. And I was thinking, oh my God, you know me for so many years and you still think that that's what I do, that I'm telling people what to do. It just showed me that he really does not understand what it is that I do, what it is that coaches are doing, because coaching is really not about telling another person what to do. I understand where the misconception comes from, because the word coach is also used, for example, for sport coach or diet coach. When with those type of coaching, the coach is an expert in what you are doing together. Playing basketball, playing football, or really needing to lose weight. And I'm not saying that this is not something that you can do, of course. But the type of coaching that we are teaching is called life coaching. And in life coaching, we are really helping people to get over the challenges in life, the regular challenges in life. If somebody is going through a difficult time, or somebody is going through a separation, divorce, moving country, have communication problems, all that kind of thing, these are things that happen to all of us in life, sometimes more, sometimes less. And for that, there is coaching. This is what we call life coaching. There is no way on earth that myself or any other coach will be an expert on your life, about the life of the client. On the contrary, the less we know and the more we ask, the more it is becoming the process of the client. And this is what we want to achieve. We work with a person-centered approach, and that approach is all focused about the client and what they want and what they think and the decision that they are taking by themselves in order to progress in their life. I cannot be an expert in everybody's life and everybody's situations. Even if I went through something similar, I started with counseling, coaching, especially women, but people that have been through pregnancy loss, because I have been through that. But there was no point in which I thought, oh, I know exactly what's going on with you because I've been through that. Not at all. In fact, whenever a thought like that came up, I had to put it aside. This is not about me. It's not about my process. It's about the process of my client, of my coachee. So we cannot be experts on everybody's life, but what we are experts of or about is asking the right questions, unfolding the story, trying to see with the client where they want to get, trying to help them to see that there are more options to do, things to achieve, ways to look at, paths to step and walk the walk in, and then we help them to take decisions of what they wish to explore, what they wish to do in their own life. I will certainly not tell anybody what to do. Even if I think as a coach that something will be good for my client to do, I will find a way of sharing it with them. I will not tell them, what you should do is this and this. Do that and that. because it will then not become their process. It will be my process. And I don't know about you, but when people tell me what to do, I really don't like it. And I think that most people are like that. But the coach's ability to share, we call it share information, to share something. So, for example, to say, I hear what you're saying, and I know that you thought about doing this and this. Have you maybe thought about doing that as well? And by doing that, we open the scope of thinking for the client. We are sometimes suggesting things. But again, I will always ask, I will always say, I know we spoke about this. Are you ready for me to suggest another thing to do or another thing to think about? And if the client says, yes, I'm ready for another suggestion, this is when I will come in and suggest it. But if they say, no, I have enough, I'm overwhelmed, I will not. So this is why we are not telling people what to do. We are checking with them what they wish to do. The next misconception is connected to the first one, and that is that coaches give advice. Not at all. In fact, if there is one thing that in the beginning of the teaching of coaching, I say to my students all the time, is be careful from giving advice. We are not giving advice. We are not consultants. Consultants can give advice because they are experts on certain things. If I'm a consultant, for example, for helping companies to reduce expenses, then I will look at the situation and I will say, drop this, stop doing that, start doing the other. Or maybe I'm a consultant who is helping people to relocate. So they go for relocation and then the consultant will tell them, you need those documents and this document and you need to arrive to this office at that time and you need to have an apostille on this or another and your documents shouldn't be older than 6 months old, for example. This is somebody who gives instructions in a way. But coaches don't do that. We are also not acting like friends or family where we will say, I know you, and you better do this, and you better do the other. This is advice that friends and family can give you, but we as coaches, we are not. Not only because we don't know the whole of you, and we only know about a certain situation that you are sharing with us, but also we are not taking responsibility in telling you what to do or giving you advice because it has to be your own process. Like I said, there are ways of sharing information. If I will see that one of my clients is struggling with something, and I know that if they will only read this book or do this action, and I will not share that with them, that will be wrong too. And like I showed you earlier, there are ways of expanding the scope of possibilities and understanding of a client, but it will never be, I think you should do that. So I hope this is clear. No telling people what to do and not giving advice. What else is coaching? It is moving away from the medicalization of problems. I think we have established already that all of us are going through some challenges in life. It is abnormal if we don't even think that things are challenging at times. But the fact that you are currently dealing with something that is challenging for you, let's say you're dealing with a big change in your life, either relocation or there is a new baby in the family, or you have communication problems, or you have issues in your relationships, or you're going through some kind of loss, or you cannot reach certain goals that you've set for yourself, like finishing to write that book, or finishing a certain task that you would like to finish. Or if you want to change your habits, like somebody was always late and they would like to be on time or have a better time management. Or if you would like to find a partner, or if you would like to deal with some parenting issues that you have, etc., etc. All these things do not fall under any medical condition. people who are helping people with medical conditions are called therapists, psychologists. Again, you need to be careful with these definitions because not any therapy will actually be a medical therapist, but in most cases, let's say psychologists, this is what they are dealing with, or at least here in the Netherlands, when you have a medical issue like deep depression, that's when you go to your GP, to your doctor, and you're asking to be referred to a psychologist. That they might refer you to a psychiatrist in certain cases, of course. And this is why their work is usually covered or partially covered by the medical insurances. And here's the answer also to another question that we sometimes hear: is coaching covered by the medical insurance? Listen to what I just said. It is a medical insurance. Well, I just explained that the fact that you are encounter issues that are just really normal. We are dealing with the normal issues in life. It does not need to be covered by your medical insurance, and it does not need to be going on your medical record. And the normal things in life that we all go through, we have to understand that it's okay. It's okay that from time to time we will find it challenging. It is okay that from time to time we will need somebody to sit with us and ask us the correct questions and encourage us and see the things that we don't see about ourselves, and to ask us about our strengths and to ask us about the things that we would like to improve and monitor together with us how we're doing. It doesn't mean there is any problem with us. I also don't believe that somebody who has a psychological or clinical issue has a problem with themselves. But what I'm saying is that we, unlike, let's say, psychologists or other therapists, we cannot diagnose a certain problem and give it a name. We are not allowed to do that. We are here to listen to you, to work together with you, and in understanding what is it that is currently bothering you, that is currently not kind of perfect, or perfect is maybe not the right word, but that thing that is not, you're not at your best with it, or the situation is not at its best, and you would like to change it to the better. And you find ways together with your coach of how to do it according to your own way. So again, the coach will never diagnose, and the coach will certainly not tell you what to do. They are working together with you. They are always on your side. That's the thing that you have to understand. If you ever find that the coach is not on your side, that the coach is not helping you to do the things that you would like to do, then you need to ask yourself, is that the right person for me? Because coaching, it is really all about that collaborative work with a professional who knows their expertise is not about your life or what is happening to you, but about listening with full empathy, with the wish to help you and get you to a better place in your life, a more desirable place in your life. And this is, my friends, what coaching is. It is a wonderful, wonderful profession. It is really taking everything that I personally love in human connections, in communications, and enhancing it, bringing it to a completely different level. You know, many times when I was coaching professionals, that it is very clear that they are so good in what they're doing. One of the things that was challenging for them was to communicate it outside. And this is where coaching is helpful, because it is all about creating that story around you and being able to say who you are and look at your strength and look at your abilities and celebrate them, but really celebrate them. And to be in a place that you are enjoying who you are with all your abilities and your technical abilities and your knowledge and your past and the culture that you come from and your history. This is you. Let's celebrate you. This is what coaching does. Taking you without trying to fix you or anything, but celebrating the person that you are. And this is why coaching is such a positive profession. It is really looking at people and their best. And what is better than that? You tell me, what is better than looking at another person and constantly looking at them in a positive way, looking at them in a way that you know that maybe they have not looked at themselves like that for a very long time, and you're there to show them and celebrate the people that they are. This is, my friends, one of the best gifts that you can give another person, but also give yourself. I was Noah Boom, the founder of the ICCI. I hope that it is clear for you what coaching is. There is a lot more to say about coaching, and I will do that in the next episodes. Until then, you can always listen to this podcast through Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple. And if you have any questions or you would like to start a discussion about what I said, you can always look at us on Moving Forward with the ICCI, our community group on Facebook. I will put a link here in the description of the podcast, and you can join us there for much more information and to ask us any question. Celebrate your life, enjoy it, let another person come into it and show you the greatness in you. This is what coaching is all about.